What's up, everyone? What episode are we on now? 6? God almighty. So, today we are here with Daryl from Lost Souls. I believe you're
Hello.
affiliated with a part of DNTV. Is that correct?
Yep. Part of
Okay.
DNTV, yep.
Gonna love to get to know more about you today. I see you a lot on DNTV, so we need to know about you.
Yeah.
So how you doing today, sir?
Good. It's hot here. My hay fever's kicked off a little bit, so if I'm a bit snuffly, it's because of my hay fever and I ain't got no tablets.
Oh
So I'm
goodness.
like, yeah, buggered myself up a little bit. Should have got some before this was live, but it's how this goes, isn't it? Show business.
Yeah, and you said it. Did you say it was hot over there?
It is hot today. I think it's like 20 or something today, which is warm here.
Yeah, they said our
So-
heat index was crazy today. So, looks like we got some people coming in. Christina Bell. Oh, you scared me. Hello, Irene.
Hello.
Hi from Mama D, DNTV.
Hey, Mama D.
Mama D.
Mama D in the house.
Much love from Dallas, Texas. Ooh, interesting.
We both went all at the same time.
Heat wave everywhere.
Yeah.
Aha.
So
72 Fahrenheit's not too bad. It's not too bad.
what's that in Celsius? I only go by Celsius.
See, I don't know. Bad at math.
David, did you work that out for us?
I'd say here is like, it's probably going to be, if the heat index is like 100 and something, but it's probably like around 90 today, I'd say. I'd have to look.
Yeah.
Hello, Nigel. I don't know why I say it like that every time. 23 Celsius. Thank you, Mama D.
Yeah. Cheers to that. Don't know why I'm doing the accents. So sorry if I offend anyone. Don't mean to. Just, don't know. It's one of them days today.
If everyone has watched any of my content or my show, I do accents, and it's not to offend anyone. It's just for me to look stupid. I mean, that's what I'm good at. I mean, I run into stuff on my episodes. I look stupid on here, so that's what I do. I do accents, and I do it in front of Drew all the time. I'll be talking to Drewbert and be like, just saying all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah. Drupert.
Nigel.
Nigel from the North Pole. Santa Claus.
It's Daryl. Oh, so let's see if it's going to show it. There we go. It's Daryl being Daryl.
Yeah. It's me. Yeah.
I feel like you're the type of guy, man, that just, you're like me. You just want to have fun with it, you know?
Yeah, I do.
We have the utmost respect for people, but you got to have fun. You got, especially in the paranormal field, you got to have fun with it. Because if you're not, then it becomes too much of a, it would become too much of a chore for me if I didn't have fun with it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it is what it is. So, today we're going to interview the wonderful Daryl here. And we're also going to look at some news that's going on, recent news. There wasn't a whole lot the past week, but nonetheless, we'll still look at it. So it'll be an interesting show today. It'll be a different kind of show. And hopefully I can kind of continue this forward, you know, with it. Because that's what's awesome about this show is I'll have people that want to request to come on, or I'll ask them to come on. And then I'm like, what time works best for you? And then I'm also like, all right, so do you just want a straight interview? Do you want to like watch the news and content stuff with me and have like an input with it? And you were the first person to be like, I want to do both. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, we can do that. We'll work that in.
Yeah, I
So-
keep losing my virginity for the first time at doing stuff. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that I've done for the first time. So It's good.
Heck yeah. All right, so we will. My middle name is fun.
Is it? Is it?
Alrighty. So, Daryl, tell us about yourself, sir.
What do you want to know? Well,
Everything. I want to know, because the next question will be more towards paranormal stuff, but we kind of just want to know who you are and you know, I guess let's say what kind of got you in to doing what you're doing now.
yeah. Well, obviously, people that already do know me. I'm Daryl. Obviously, Lost Souls and part of DNTV. Whoop whoop. And I don't know what I don't know really what to say. Like, just everyone knows me as Daryl and Lost Souls and DNTV, and yeah. So, I suppose just jump straight into the paranormal now.
how let's ask this. Lost Souls is your paranormal. Is it a team or a community? What's up with Lost Souls?
Lost Souls is just me, and it's the fourth name of a group that I've named. Just found that the others were okay, but didn't work. Didn't sort of fit in. So it's full-time lucky, shall we say? And to be fair, Lost Souls does make sense because I do not just the paranormal, but explorations of abandoned everything, really. So it's Lost Souls of abandoned and the spirit world, isn't it? So fits in perfect.
So so in a sense, you're kind of like an urban explorer as well, or do you do more? Like, do you dive deeper into the urban exploring thing?
At the moment, it's paranormal, but I want to do the urban stuff more as well because I've noticed I'm diving too much into one where I need to dive in both, or at least do both together. If that makes sense, and that, you know.
And I'm starting to
birds with one stones.
Yeah, and I'm starting to see that where urban explorers are going in, and then they're like, I felt like this place was a little haunted. Like after they done the exploring part of it, so they weren't really going in looking for it, but then they were like, "Oh, okay, I think there might be something to this place." So it's interesting to see now that they're also starting to kind of get in a little bit of that spectrum, but they don't go into it as far as like we do.
Yeah, well, if you look at the urban side of it, you will see that a lot of urban groups go from urban to paranormal, or do both, like I'm going to go into. They always start one to go into the other, where, if I was wanting to do both at the same time, it obviously works out as paranormal first, then I will be doing the explorations. But I'm just going to go in to do both. So, a building that's been around for 150 years, I'm not going to know any history, going to not know what ghosts are apparently haunting it. I'm literally going to go in and just go in blind all the time because it's the best way, I think. So it's because otherwise, if you go in there knowing the history and knowing what's, spirit apparently there or isn't there, it's kind of spoiling you going in, isn't it? It's just you want to go in there knowing the unknown. So
you like to go in with like an open mind but also not influenced by other things.
Yeah, I can look quickly into the history, but that's about it. I don't really divulge too much.
Yeah, it's kind of like our team member Kim from First Line. We go into these locations. Like I'll make a sheet, like a Google Doc of the place we're going to, and I'll try to put in the history and everything, and then I'll also put in what the claims are and what people have experienced there, and then I send it out to the group. We do that like 2 or 3 months in advance before we go to the place, and she's the one that chooses not to open it up.
No.
Like, she just doesn't even look at it. And we go into the location, and she learns everything basically through the walkthrough portion of it. So there's no, like, before knowledge of it going in, and there's no, like, thinking, okay, what's here and what's going on. She gets it all, like, right on location.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because then we kind of get to see it, like, see if she experiences anything on one side, and then see what I experience, because I read into everything before I go. So it's interesting. It's an interesting way to look at stuff, because it's really awesome if you catch something and then afterwards you might find out about something, and then you can connect the two, and you're like, holy crap. You know? So it's awesome stuff for sure.
Yeah.
So how did you find yourself in the paranormal field?
I suppose as a kid, having my first experience as I would say a spirit. I don't know if it was dark entity or what, but seeing it come out of the wall and then come towards my room was quite scary. You know what I mean? So it made me run back into my room under the duvets for a good hour. So yeah, I think from that I knew that, you know, the living, once they die, but they're still there in soul. So, and then just throughout the years, you know, intrigued and going in history, like going to castles with my dad and just looking into history, and just I always used to say, oh, is this haunted, or is this place haunted? You know what I mean? Because I knew it's more likely to be haunted. And then obviously in 2019, just started doing groups. You know, that's where the group name started to be made, and doing it with mates and stuff like that. So yeah.
How young was you when you had that experience?
I think it was about around 5, give or take. Yeah.
And did that keep happening to you, or I mean, was it just at like a house you lived at, or?
Oh yeah, weird stuff happened all the time. That's why I knew that I was more open to spirits.
Yeah, especially at that age.
But then, obviously, growing up, having been like how Drew is, you know, I haven't been the way Drew's been, so I think just not open to it, like wanting to open it like that until 2019. No, not 2019. What year is it? 2020. Yeah, 2019. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, but definitely seen some spirits and spoke to spirits like we talk to you now, and it's just like weird knowing they were dead. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You know, and apparently that's a very low percentage of people actually speaking to someone is actually dead, like they was actually living. You know what I mean? As I looked into that, it's a very low percentage that you'll find that people talk to someone that's actually dead. You know what I mean? And think they're alive. It's scary and interesting, definitely shocking. Like, definitely.
I'm sure out of the numbers, it probably is pretty low. I have started to see people like. I think a lot of stories is, oh, I seen them, like me and you seeing each other now. Like I can see them as the full apparition, whatever. I think there's a lot more of that going on. But yeah, as far as the talking, I don't know. It's not, you don't hear that often.
Yeah, it's definitely knowing that I saw spirits that ain't alive. You know, it's just like, okay, that's actual someone that is not alive anymore, and I actually had a proper conversation with them. You know what I mean? For like a good, you know, minutes, not seconds, minutes. Like I've had that on a few occasions, like proper full, thinking that they just dressed up for the day, like a castle, an event, not knowing anything different.
Spoiler alert! It's like the scenes you see on Ozark. If anyone's seen Ozark, I just that came to my mind when you was like, yeah, I'm just talking to him and you can see him and everything. I'm like, yeah, that's what was going on Ozark. Very trippy.
Yeah.
So, hello, Caroline. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be at.
Yeah.
Is that the logo for Lost Souls on your shirt?
This is, yeah.
That's bad A, man. I like that.
Oh, okay, good.
Who made that design? Who
Um,
thought of that design?
Well, there's a story into that, which is a little bit complicated, but I obviously knew someone that did badge designs and stuff, so I asked him to do it. And he said, obviously, what do I want? I said, I still want the skull, and then just want to make it like the words go around it, like it is now. So
Yeah, I like
he did
that.
it, and then obviously afterwards, I tried to get him to do, because obviously at some stage, I want to try and get a clothing brand for the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to sort that out. It was a nightmare.
We need more of those. We need more of those.
Yeah.
I think I found one shop so far, but I haven't really even looked into it that much. Because I'm starting to now want to get shirts. Like I've got War to War yesterday was the Plague Doctor shirt. I don't really remember where I got it from now, but I wish I had more shirts of that style.
Yeah. I've got I've got a logo that's been remade by someone. But I don't know, because obviously I don't want to say the name yet, just in case someone steals it.
Right.
That's the thing. But I don't know whether to go with the logo or just the name. It's a little bit. I don't know whether to go with the words, but then have the logo now and again, or in the top. It's one of them.
Yeah, I don't do marketing and all the clothing, like doing your own business stuff. Man, that's kind of why we went with the whole we're doing drop shipping, because we're dealing with stuff all the time. Like we got events coming up, locations to do. I work on the videos for about a month and a half to 2 months, getting them pushed out. We just don't have time to make our own stuff and put them in boxes and ship them out and deal with all that, you know? So I'm just glad that there's other people out there that are, you know, they're focusing on doing that and trying to get all that out to people. Because like I said, man, I feel like we don't have enough of them little paranormal places to go to and buy shirts that we all, you know, have something in common with.
Yeah.
Make them look cool.
Yeah.
Okay. With Lost Souls, I know you said it was just you, but do you have other people that help you with those, or just like do they tag along?
I mostly
when they want to
do collabing, just a lot of collabing. Obviously, we're in for future reference. I'll be collabing. Well, I wouldn't say collabing. It'd be joint investigations with other groups, FBI, paranormal postmortem. So yeah. So if I get in a place, or you know, I'll be getting them to do, you know, see if they want to come up for it and just be collabing or just joining them with ghost hunts more. But I'm happy to collab with anyone if they want to. I have asked many around, and whether they got time and, you know, want to do it. So
yeah, I could imagine like doing stuff on your own. It would be a little tough, because when we first started, it was like, hey, what if we made a team? Oh, it'd be cool. And then we just like left it at that for a little while and just kept doing our you know, just normal day routine stuff. And a few months later, I come back and I'm like, no, really, y'all, what if we made a team and started doing stuff? Okay. So we started out with 3 people. So, I mean, it's a little bit easier to go to places and get off the ground and, you know, be able to work on stuff together. So I can only imagine with it just being by yourself doing all that. It's a little
I don't know,
rough.
just with Lost Souls, it just seems to be me. a lost soul. I think literally that is why I'm on my own at the moment, because I can just see that I'm a lost soul. I'm really, well, since last November is where I've moved up north in England. It's only then I've really found myself. So, in a way, the name sticks with me as well. Have been a lost soul, So hence
It's a
the name as
good
well.
origin story for sure. Because I feel like
Yeah,
you're not totally lost. I feel like you've got something. You've got a roadmap for sure. I can definitely tell you got a roadmap. You got stuff coming up, and you wanna get it done. So,
yeah,
but it's definitely a good origin name. I like it, man. It definitely rings with me because it's kind of like an old school thing when I was growing up and stuff like that. So it's a good name
yeah,
for sure. FBI are always up for an investigation. Mama D.
yeah, yeah.
Heck
Definitely.
yeah.
It's definitely FBI and paranormal postmortem for sure. Definitely, if they got time, they're definitely involved, because I'll always ask them. Anyone else is welcome to. It's just I've just noticed. I don't know about you, but I've noticed when you obviously talk to a group and you ask them if they want to clap, they go, yeah, 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 and then all of a sudden they just they ghost you and disappear, and you just, well, I'm coming up to this vent, you want to still come or not, and you just hear nothing back. So I just end up just leaving it and do what I need to do, because
Right.
I've just noticed a high percentage of people will do that. It's only a very small amount of groups will stick with each other and stuff like that. And, in some ways it is annoying, because it's the fact that we're all one family. Like, every group's separate, but all together we're a family. So we should be able to help each other out, especially the big to small. You know what I mean? So without the big ones, the small ones, generally, I think that wouldn't have started as groups, if that makes sense. Like, they're always
Yeah.
influenced by other groups and gone, oh, I like what they do, or I want to do that one day. You know what I mean? But we are a family, so it's true, and we should, help each other out in every way we can.
Yeah.
So
Because most people are like, that's how they get started in it to begin with, is just from watching other people. Sometimes it's like you've had experiences, and so you don't. Maybe some people have experiences and they don't necessarily start till they start watching it on these sites or the shows and stuff, and then they're like, oh, okay, so I'm not the only one that's experienced stuff like this.
yeah,
So definitely agree with what you say
I
when it comes
definitely
to helping
think
everybody
that
out.
if you want to do this and you ain't got the money to get the equipment, don't need all the money in the world to get the equipment. All you need is a decent phone to film, or at least to have apps on to use. So either way, if you film it, you film it. If you don't, you still got the apps on that phone to use. But yeah, you just need a good Android or iPhone. Doesn't cost the earth, does it? To start off that way.
I don't know. Them phones are pretty expensive.
Well, yeah, they are.
I feel like now you definitely need an iPhone. I've seen the difference between my Samsung versus an iPhone camera, and the iPhone just blows it out of the water. I don't know what it is, but I mean, and a lot of people now, they're like, why are we watching 480p videos? I mean, so we gotta. I don't know. Some of it's, but I know what you're saying. We got to start out. You got to start out somewhere. Either way, if you can't get the iPhone, don't worry about it. Start, get a phone out. Get an old camcorder out. You got to start somewhere. Because by the time you do a lot of that with that equipment, and by the time you upgrade to something, I mean, you're pretty much down with what you're doing. And and you know what to look for, and you know what you need to improve. So
Yeah,
you got to start somewhere.
you do.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and look at this first little article here that I've brought up. Interestingly enough, a mystery surrounds Aristocrat's vampire hunting kit.
Ah,
Vampire hunting kit.
now speaking of this, I went recently to Stokes Haunted Museum in England, so that's near Manchester,
Yeah.
and I had a very good experience. This place was a test for me opening up. You know, there you've got the black mirrored mirrors, so obviously the mirrors that are painted or just literally black, and they showed me images that you can't see. Hey, Sherry. And this is there's one of them in Stokes Haunted Museum. Now, upstairs, when he was showing us around on the second level, we was near the room that had the body tray. And standing there, he's explaining, I'm standing there going, vampire, vampire, like in my head. And I'm thinking, I said to him, I said, what's vampire? What's to do with the vampire? And he was looking around and he was like, oh, I don't know. And then earlier on, I went down a couple of times and someone pointed this box out, which he's got one of these. And it was what I picked up. And I never saw that at all until it was pointed out, which is a good way because I was getting vampire like strongly.
Yeah.
But these kits, I truly want to get one of these. And they ain't cheap.
I bet not. Actually, I think it's going to tell us a price on here, but I just find it fascinating now that there's a lot of talks about vampires back in the day, and still till today, there's some modern people talking about modern vampires. I've got a buddy that talks about it all the time, and I think Drubert wants to get him on the show, but this guy is all, he's not about paranormal. He's not about doing these shows. He's got a lot of conspiracy theories under his belt, but a lot of them I listen to, man, and he's like spot on about stuff. So I'm just like, So I thought this was a cool little article. It says kit comes richly adorned with crosses and crucifixes, including those making up a secret opening mechanism. A different sort of hammer has fallen on a century-old vampire fighting kit, complete with holy water bottle and a wooden stake. Let's see. Was once owned by British peer Lord Hailey. It sold for £13,000 at a Derbyshire auction, 5 times its guide price.
Blimey.
It is unclear how seriously Lord Hailey took the threat of vampires, or if the kit was ever used. £13,000, man. That's pretty good. That's a lot. That's a pretty good amount of money for a box,
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if it's like, if there's anything.
Well, I'm
it's
just
got some kind of energy to it,
I'm looking at it. I'm getting something from it.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting from the app is I can't. I'm getting something.
And with this book, I wonder what's in this book. Probably like
a
guide or something,
Yeah, or his diary, literally writing down what he's seen and
just the history of the box.
Probably, yeah. I wonder if there's a curse to it.
Yeah.
You laugh.
This is Lord Hailey right here.
I don't know, it's weird because since obviously been doing the paranormal and obviously looking around places that have got haunted items and some are cursed, I don't know if it's me being brave, but I'm more attracted to stuff like that. Like when I went to the Stokes Haunted Museum, they've got a doll that's part of the Annabelle, because there's obviously more than one doll that's with the Annabelle family, isn't there? So the doll, I can't remember what the doll was called, but that was haunted, and the owner didn't want anyone to hold it. And I looked at him and said, "Oh, can I hold it?" And he was like humming and hawing whether to let me hold. He let me, but all I got through was some eerie feeling, and it didn't make me feel great, so I had to put it down. But yeah, definitely, I'm attracted to stuff about that now, where I
Yeah.
never say I would. So, yeah.
Says the 19th century lockable box features 2 brass crucifixes on the lid, which act as secret sliding locks. Is that okay? So,
Them two at the top, either side of the cross.
yeah. Oh, look, you can see like there's like little crosses engraved right there. That's cool. Inside are more crucifixes, a matching pair of pistols, a brass powder flask, holy water, a Gothic Bible. So that's what it was. A wooden mallet, a stake, brass candlesticks, and rosary beads. See, this is why, like, and you've probably seen the show too, where I'll talk about it some, and then we'll read further down, and then we learn more about it, or what we said before that it actually matches up with the story. I like doing that. I like talking about it first before we find out all the facts and stuff too, just to see if we hit on anything. Several items were stamped with his initials. It also included Metropolitan Police paperwork, apparently registering an alien enemy in 1915 during World War One. Yeah. He rose to be a governor. Huh. He died in 1969 and has a memorial tablet in West. You might say some of these for me.
I can't even see them.
Westminster Abbey.
Yeah, Westminster Abbey.
I might have to zoom in some today.
Yeah.
Actually, now that you... Is that a little bit better?
Yeah. Just my face is going to be really big for everyone. Oh, this clock. Oh.
What is that?
I don't know. But, don't like it.
Very old-timey. You don't like it? Oh, no. Charles Hanson, owner of Hanson's Auctioneers, said vampires have been part of popular culture for more than 200 years. They are enshrined in European folklore. Dracula. However, a belief in vampires and strange superstitions go back even further and persist to this day. The task of killing a vampire was extremely serious, and historical accounts suggested the need for particular methods and tools. I think they're just showing a bunch of, like, items from the auctioneer stuff now.
Still don't get a great feeling from them, though. Or some history from it bouncing off.
Yeah. Apparently that clock was sold for £7,000.
Lovely. That's an expensive clock. But then there's clocks out there that's more expensive.
And this had links to... This vase had links to a... I'm not sure if it was a Japanese spy or a British serviceman spy.
It's got that sort of Japanese, Chinese sort of pottery making style, isn't it?
Yeah. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, get the next thing up here. Have you had, Daryl, have you had any paranormal experiences past your initial one?
Loads. I've been chucked down the stairs.
Oh,
that was
wow.
a good experience. That was around my friends. He decided to, mess with his spirit. And I'm warning him not to because I knew it was more poltergeist. Yeah, he was in one room. I was on the landing. Come on, I've told this story so many times and I've forgotten it now. But yeah, he was standing in one of the rooms. I was in the landing, and he was doing something extremely stupid. And I was saying, "You need to stop this now because it's something seriously going to go." And then lo and behold, the door slams. And as the door slams, I don't know if anyone's had that feeling, but once you have that eerie feeling and bad feeling, you need to get out of there. So I had that feeling, and I thought, well, he's trapped in a room. I'm not. I'm going to leg it because it's better to, I was thinking it's better to have one dead body, two, just in case anything bad did go down. Didn't. But as I ran away, because he lived in a big house, like a big mansion, like his parents are well off. So these stairs, like I don't know if you've seen an English house, like a normal standard, like a 2-story house. I don't know if you've seen, but like the normal standard length of stairs, like an American house or an English house.
Yeah, like a cookie cutter house is what I call it.
Yeah, well, these stairs were probably like twice, maybe 3 times as long. So I got to the top of the stairs and I thought, I want to get out of this house as quick as possible. So I tried to leap, like skip down the stairs. But as I've done that, something's tripped me and obviously put my body off balance. And I've just gone tumbling down the stairs. And as I'm at the bottom of the stairs, I've looked up and see this black shadow. And I literally just jumped up, didn't realise whether I'd, done any damage, and then got outside, ran to the gate, and I was like, hang on a minute, I need to go back because my mate's stuck in there. And I thought, you know what? I didn't really think about it. I didn't really check either until physically me and my mate were outside. But yeah, I ran back inside, like leaping up the stairs and to get into this room. For my mate, literally, he was just like standing and just like, he looked at me because he knows I opened the door. And he looked at me and he noticed I'd run off. And his words were, "You ran off." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You ran off." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." But at that time, I didn't know what to do. So I thought I did tell him, I had the thought, if he's going to die, it better be one person and two. So he was like, "Oh, cheers, mate." Yeah, it just didn't bother to, I was like, "I did come back for you." It was just like, "Well, yeah, it's a good thing nothing happened." So, well, I got tripped up down the stairs. So I literally had a little session down the stairs, mate, where you probably didn't have anything. It was just like, well, after the door slammed, the furniture and the drawers were moving. I was just like, well, that's nothing. Try leaping down the stairs and getting tripped up and then tumbling down them stairs, mate.
Yeah, it's always interesting how people react to other things like other people went through, because we haven't had nothing happen like that before. So, but I don't feel like I'd be like, "Why'd you run off for? You just got pushed down the stairs. You're hurting. Why are you running off?" I'd probably be like, "Holy crap!"
My mate was different.
Yeah, I'd be like, "So where'd you fall at? Let's look at the ground where you were at. Is it unlevel? Is there stuff on the floor around there?" Like, I would start digging down into that. And then also, like, what were you feeling? Did you hear anything before it happened? Or, just all of them questions. I would, if someone's got to run out of a building and it's our team, I know it was for a good reason. Like, because we don't just run off because we hear something, So it's crazy.
Yeah, no. He was literally just moaning because I ran off. I left him behind. I was just like, at one point, I was like, you can ask me other questions if you want, like, if I'm all right, because I did sort of fly down these stairs, mate. I was going to skip the steps, but I ended up flying down the steps. And, but no, it's just, it was like, and then he turned around on me. It was just like, "Well, you could have asked if I'm all right." I was like, "Well, I can clearly see you're all right, so I'm not going to ask. If I could see you bleeding or something, I would have asked if you're all right." But he was just like, "Oh, okay, well, I see." You know what I mean? Proper mood all after that. Which is quite funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Christina asked if you've had a spirit follow you home. and stay for a while at your house?
That I could not tell you. I couldn't tell you if there was a spirit attached to me.
Do you feel like you've had something at your house before
Oh, well, I always get
after
spirits.
investigations?
I do, but then I'm not too sure whether it's where I live or what. I haven't really indulged in that yet. But where I usually live, it's always stuff happens anyway. So I haven't really split it to see if it's any separate or together. You know what I mean?
That's so odd because like before we started, we didn't have nothing happen here. Now after we've been doing it for a year, me and my girlfriend have heard a doorknob turn in another hallway, like, and that's not something you ever hear here. Her and the kids weren't here, and we heard it. Her computer used to be right here, and she was sitting at the computer. We heard it, and we both went and looked at each other. And, you know, I've also had people say they've seen stuff behind me, and she said she's seen shadows before, but she wasn't entirely sure, you know, so it's odd that we've started and now it's like things are happening. So it's always a good question. Don't come to my house then. A couple of my guests have had a sensation of being pushed on my stairs.
It's alright. I've actually, I don't know with you, but I've just literally got used to it. If anything happens, it's going to happen. It's not going to bother me. I'd get up and just brush it off and just go back into whatever I was doing, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, you know, with a lot of people, how they go about it now, but I know with me, that's my attitude now. I'll go into somewhere and something does happen, you know, I'll be like amazed that it's happened. I'm like, oh my God, that really happened, you know what I mean? But then be getting on with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
yeah. She asked if it's a male here. I've been told that there is one here. I don't know why. I've been told there's one behind me all the time when I'm doing these lives, so I don't know. I'm more skeptical, so I don't really talk about that much. And she was never the one to like break out a spirit box when stuff happened. Like, we never want to do investigating here ever. But she's like, let's break it out. And I'm like, nah, we ain't doing that. And but I have broke it out before over like remote sessions. Like if Drew or something's feeling something, then I'll break out the box or something. We'll try to do like a remote session. So it's interesting. Yeah. What's up, Raymond?
Hello.
The awesome Newsom. The G in the middle of his name, that stands for OG, like original G. You know what I'm saying? Daryl, what's your favorite piece of equipment?
To be fair, I think it's got to be the portal spirit box. Literally, just no interruptions, just literally voice of a spirit, and that's it. Beautiful sound of a spirit, of a human spirit that literally talk to someone. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know some people are like, oh, what's he talking about? So, well, actually, if you think about it, you are talking to someone that was alive. It's their soul that's floating around. So you're still talking to a human, just in a different form. These not alive. You know what I mean? It's a spirit form of human. That's what I say.
Well, and I feel like I've got an older school version of it. A lot of people now have got those ones where it's like you don't hardly hear any static. You just hear voices. So hopefully, you know, push comes to shove, we'll start seeing those a little bit more readily available for people, because I think that will be the game changer for sure.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Cool. Spirit box. I feel like mine, I think I lean more towards it too, because, I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just being able to hear it and listen to it, and it's a little bit more of an instant feedback.
I'm just definitely more to communicate, to talk to them. I can talk to you now. I'll just, if like for me, if I open up to the point where I hear them and see them properly, I'll just have proper conversations all day long. There's spirits out there literally would have a conversation. I'll just be there. Someone walking around, like, who's talking to? Like, oh, just George. He died in 1876. He's actually quite nice. It's so, you know what I mean? That's. I don't know about everyone else, but that's definitely for me. I'd rather just have a proper conversation with the spirit, you know,
Yeah.
because I think that's the true intent of us finding out of who someone was. So
I find it fascinating because, like, the last investigation, we'll try to get stuff to come through, and we were on a spirit box for what feels like an hour, and then at the end we're like, all right, we're gonna pack up. Can you tell us, can you tell us bye, or just to see if we can get that one last, okay, make everyone see what's there and believe it. We're like, all right, can you tell us bye or whatever, and clear as day, man. Next thing comes through is bye, and it's like we didn't have anything else that even come close to that.
Yeah,
it's like, what in the world? Because I'm more skeptical, so I look at it from just like this ain't supposed to happen, but it does.
Yeah, it's like when you do actually catch proper conversations, like where they've made like a 7 or 8 word sentence, and you just think it's amazing. Just literally talking to someone that used to be alive, but he's still there in a way. You know what I mean? It's epic. Just sometimes depends on the situation, but I do get like, cheery because the fact that I know that they used to be someone, and you're talking to them now. You know what I mean? So it just gets me happy. I think it's going to obviously be more happy tears because it's the fact that I'm talking to someone that's not here anymore, but they are still here. So
there's something that connects with you too.
Yeah.
Do I use spirit boards? No. We're not our whole team, but most of us are like religious, and it's not really necessarily a battle, but it does kind of interfere with some of what we believe. So like Daryl believes that these are actual spirits, and for me it's like I'm still I do try to protect myself more because I believe more of it's like a spiritual warfare type deal, but I'm not going to get into what everyone believes and stuff. So but in this case, no, we don't really use them. So now we do got a person on our team that likes to build them, and so it's interesting. What kind of equipment do you believe should not be used in the field?
Well, that's a good question, actually. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know about you, but for me, it's a hard one to actually answer because
it's just like any piece of equipment like that. You're just like, okay, that's just pure. Well, I'm not going to use y'all's words because I don't know what's bad over there, but just rubbish. Like if you see it on TV, you skip it, or like for me, when I see the flashlight thing, the whole mag light, the mini mag light, if anyone pulls that out in investigation, anyone pulls that in investigation, or if it shows on TV, I'm just like, I can't wait for this part to be over, because I don't credit it. There's only been one time, and it was on an episode, a recent episode of Portals to Hell, that I'm just like, okay, that's weird, but it's still the flashlight technique. I'm just like, like it might have connected with another piece of equipment, but using it by itself, I'm just like, I can't credit it.
Yeah.
So is there anything out there for you that you're just like, skip it?
I don't know. I don't really say, apart from just the rubbish apps. Yeah, there's apps that obviously people use and they're like, oh, it's good. It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
There's apps out there that work, and they work because you can test them. And what comes through, over you be like, okay, that definitely works. And then there's other apps that just don't work. You just like someone's, not digging down that person who made that app, but
right.
I just say that if you're going to do apps for the paranormal, do it for the paranormal rather than just make it to make money, because that's, you know what I mean, it's not good. But each to their own, I can say. But in my eyes, it's just the apps that don't work.
Yeah, a lot of people are still using that GhostTube app.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying on that one. It's,
Raymond added the SLS. Now, I do use the SLS, but not a whole lot. It's definitely down on the bottom part of the list. But we have had some odd stuff with it happen. Like, say, at Trivia Clinic on our episode, we said, hey, can you... I looked at a corner of a room for like a good 5 minutes, or 2 to 3 minutes, I should say. Nothing pops up, and I'm still. And I'm like, hey, can you stand beside the table that, we was having interactions with earlier in this corner? And then all of a sudden, boom, figure pops up right beside the table, and I'm like, holy shit.
Speaking of the SLS, the first time I saw the SLS being used, my mate bought it off someone. Went down to his dad's flat. He lives in a basement. That he walked in, you just knew instantly something weren't quite nice there. He put it on. He aimed it at the bathroom, and obviously you could see the bathroom. And there's figures come on, but it's on the ceiling, upside down. And I just looked at him and went, yeah, whatever that is, or whatever is in it, it ain't nice. He was like, you sure? He's like, look at the SLS, it's on the ceiling, it looks like it's upside down. What spirit does that? What spirit hangs upside down these days, you know what I mean? That, in my eyes, was like, yes, definitely something dark, feel it, and there's just the SLS, like, in a way, proved it.
Yeah.
Because to me, when you see something upside down on the ceiling, you think, oh, that ain't normal. Not normal spirits gonna hang upside down for the day, are they? That's feel like hanging upside down, you know what I mean?
Oh, just something out of the ordinary for sure.
Yeah.
You
definitely
mean a flashlight by itself with nothing else with it? Yeah. Basically, they pull out the flashlight and they sit in there, twist and turn it. The trick is they keep it in their pocket to get it, get body heat from you and to keep it warm. And then they loosen the connections with it, lay it down, and then within a minute or two, you can say, are you here, da-da-da-da, and then nothing's coming through, and then all of a sudden, boom, starts popping on.
That's why.
And then what happens is it's coming on, then it turns off, turns on, turns off because of those connections and the heat and all that.
Yeah, that's why if you do that technique, is have the torch out for a while so it cools down. It's been in your pocket or a bag. Literally separate each and then the battery, and then obviously say good half an hour it's going to be cold and it's not going to have any effect unless you put electrical, then maybe. But if you put it all together when it's been out for half an hour and it does do it, it's more likely to be a spirit. Sorry for I've got issues with my rib. Broke my rib years ago, and it's playing up now. I don't know if it's just because of this interview. I might stand up a minute.
I'm gonna send, because everybody's always interested. I'm gonna send some. There's 2 links of the flashlight debunking. I think both of these are really good links. So check those out if anyone's interested. I mean, it's been debunked time and time again. So, but the second one, the flashlight trick is what they put on there. I mean, he's got different shots of these videos, different ways of techniques and stuff to show that the reason why it's coming on and off. So definitely good watch there. Let's go to this article here. A ghostly light figure caught on game cam. What?
A game cam? What, an outside?
Yeah. On my recent trip to Wadville UFO Fest, I'm pretty sure I didn't say that right. My wife and I made a slight detour to Winston-Salem to see an old friend. Winston-Salem, that sounds like up in my neck of the woods.
I think it is.
After getting settled in, we started talking about his game cam footage. You can find this on a YouTube channel, which we got it right here. He had some game cameras installed to see what type of wildlife he could potentially dine on if he ever need to stay out there for an extended period of time. The topic of what strange things came up, and he showed us the above video. He said he was hoping to catch a glimpse of Bigfoot, but that hasn't happened yet. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, it's proper effective. I don't know why.
Oh, you're good.
It didn't help years ago that I landed on a football.
He did, however, see this. Oh, I don't want to read that part yet. I want to see what we see first. That's a cat. Huh.
Is that behind the trees?
I don't know. This is the end of a tree right here.
Yeah.
This is a tree that's fell down.
Yeah.
Now, there's something right here. Sorry, that's my kid. What's weird is this has got like a reflection to it on the bottom. So I don't know if it's some kind of just a flare or what. It's hard to say. Let me see if I can... This is what I want right here. I'm going to slow it down. Because see, you only see this part, and then it like shifts down, and now it's like, you can see a line here, there's like a reflection, and then there's a top part to it.
It looks like it's walking now.
That's what I'm thinking.
But then is the ground raised where it looks like it is? That's the question as well.
That's what I'm thinking. Because it's like, as soon as it shifts down, you're like, okay, that looks like someone like doing that walking motion.
Yeah, because it... And again, it looks like it's in front and behind.
Yeah, like right there, you can definitely see like one leg forward, one leg back, the other leg forward. It's weird.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say that is a spirit. Because it doesn't look like it's a... It looks a bit... what's the word?
That's
not
weird.
Actually there. That's the best way to put it. It looks like what you'd get when you look at an orb.
Yeah.
You can see through it.
We've used a PS4 camera before that we set up to a laptop so it could track movements. All right. What's up, Brian Horton? The man.
Hey, Brian.
The myth. The legend.
Brian Horton.
David says, that's a good catch. No camera movement, so not reflection. I don't know. My mind goes to like, well, it could be a bug and some kind of weird light reflection too. I don't know. That one's a little bit hard for me to explain.
I'm going it's paranormal.
He said, it appears to be following a stray cat. You can see just after the cat looks into the camera, ghostly light shows up at the top, almost right-hand corner of the video. The light appears to be walking behind the cat, almost following it until it goes off camera. Ah, man, that's all they put. Damn.
Being a bit of a stalker, innit? If it's following the cat, you know what I mean? That's... Give the cat some space, mate, you know what I mean? If you're a spirit. If you're Bigfoot, Jesus, you want to make some friends. Well, to be fair, if it was Bigfoot in the distance, then that would be, but then you can't really tell. That's the thing.
Oh, look at this is cool. This guy, like, literally he posts videos of like game life coming up to the camera.
What's his channel called? TW?
Just TW.
I'm gonna actually look him up.
That was his first video he posted. Now he's just posting like actual stuff that he normally sees. That's kind of cool.
How many views did he get for that one?
23. Damn, I was going to see if there's any comments. I'm sure he'll start getting stuff since it just come out, basically. It's interesting.
Nice.
Webs can have a way of their own. Yeah, exactly. That it could be something bug related or just a web, but it's also weird that it only comes across and then it's just gone. Like he doesn't even have it anymore. Unless it's just a spider making a web above the camera on the tree. More than likely it's a tree, right? So making a web across, but who knows?
It's just weird how it looks like it hovers, then decides to proper show itself walking.
Yeah.
So it's just a bit of a mind boggler, that one. It's definitely what is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Actor Dave Foley shares UFO experience to Twitter.
Twitter?
Uh-oh. More celebrities sharing their things. This is a drawing of the object shared by Foley. Huh. Canadian actor, comedian, director, producer, and writer Dave Foley shared a UFO sighting he had just last January in a post to Twitter this week. After years of interest in UFOs, without ever seeing anything, I saw something. This is a drawing of what I saw. I was with a friend who I'll let decide if he wants to be attached to this. It moved silently, at great speed, hovered, and pulsated with light.
Definitely unique.
According to him, the sighting lasted several minutes, and the object appeared to be a solid craft about the size of a Greyhound bus. Damn. Or an 18-wheel truck. No rotors, no engine noise. That's huge.
Yeah.
I should point out the white lights were on the front of the craft, assuming that it was moving forward, and those lights pulsated separately from the body of the craft, which also pulsated. Apparently the friend with him was Jeremy Corbell. That sounds familiar too. His experience, some fans were reluctant to believe the story at first. It's probably because a lot of these celebs are like starting to get out in the paranormal now, and we don't know if that's from them actually having experiences in their past or if they're just doing it to jump on the bandwagon. So, but Foley assured that his experience was authentic. Many people who have encountered the phenomenon are afraid to discuss it because of the thoughtless and their lives ruined by that derision.
It is one of them in that you discuss it, and if you have people have their opinions, and people have like our opinions and stuff like that, it's okay to do that, but just don't like sort of push it. So you could say, "Oh, this doesn't exist," and then I'd be like, "Oh, but this does exist." Accept each other's views and get on with it, innit? But there is a lot of people that will literally push and push. And I think you can't do that in anything. You have each other's opinions and accept it and then move on, and then obviously come up with another discussion. Same again, just accept someone's opinion and get on with it, because it's each their own, isn't it? So you shouldn't really push for something and you're going to be in an argument because you're only going back and forths. You know what I mean? Might as well go to the shop and get a yo-yo and just like doing that all day. You're not getting anywhere, are you, apart from going up and down? So each to their own and accept their opinion.
And some that are doing these movies and stuff, it's like, then if they're deemed crazy, then it's like, hey, it might hurt your job, So who knows? Who knows? But we're hitting we're a little bit over the hour mark, so we're gonna go ahead and run commercial. That way, everybody can get up and like you can stretch, and if you need to use the bathroom, you can. So it's probably about right around 3 minutes of a commercial with everything put together. So just run off and do what you got to do real fast, and we will be back with some more interview with Daryl and a couple more little articles. Welcome back.
Yay.
We were lost souls in the void there for 2 minutes, but now we're back.
Oh, did I disappear?
Oh, I usually like to show like a funny clip after commercials and stuff, dealing with the paranormal, but I just haven't seen anything recently. So that's what this community in this little group's about, is that you guys can actually get stuff on the show as well. So if you'd like to be on the show, for an interview, or just want to watch some content together, put your input in, or if you have articles you want us to go over on the show, or if you want to send some funny clips to show, like your team, like something happens funny during an investigation, send it to me. I will show it on here. So definitely email us at firstlineparanormal@gmail.com, as that our team runs through this this show. We're not going to make a separate thing for it or anything. So just send us an email and title it, Trading Post or something, to let me know that you want it on this show. Tell everyone about our group, Cryptic Trading Post on Facebook. Easy enough. And then if you're interested in anything First Line Paranormal does, check out our website, firstlineparanormal.com, for all the links associated with it. So, yeah. I feel like our show's going to probably run a little bit longer today, just because we're doing an interview and content, but should be fine.
Yeah.
What's up, Stan?
Hello.
And hello to Stan from Mama D. From Mama D.
He was a good dude, that. It's not Mama D, it's Mama D. How are you doing, Mama D?
Oh, goodness. Daryl, how many investigations have you done? Roughly a number.
Probably, I don't know, about a good 15.
God, I feel so new to this. I've only done technically 4. I mean, I guess there's been times where we've done like a little mini investigation, but I don't count them. I count our episodes as one. So 15. What's been your favorite location to investigate?
So far, it's the Stoke Haunted Museum. That's where I physically heard a moan.
Haunted
right
Museum?
Yeah, Stoke's Haunted Museum.
Stokes.
I think it stood out for me so far is because, I've heard stuff and heard talking and stuff, but when you get it right next to you, like proper, just random, it's a bit of it makes it stick out a little bit more. So yeah, Stoke definitely had some.
Is it called Spirit Shop Stoke?
It might be.
Is that the correct Haunted Museum and Spirit Shop Stoke?
I know it's a spirit shop as well. So
okay, I was looking at some pictures while you were talking about it. So what happened there with you? Oh God, that looks
obviously
creepy as hell.
Moaning, talking, touched. Yeah, I got touched.
Oh my God.
First, because obviously they've got a body tray, like you get in the morgues, and the owner said that it's had I think it's 4,000 or over dead bodies on it, and I put my hands on it, and one of the images came through it just had murderer, like a murderer's body.
Yeah.
And I looked to the owner and said, by any chance has someone been on this tray that's been a murderer or been murdered? And he said, I'll let you know later. But till this day, he hasn't really said what it was. But I was picking up more of it's a murderer murdered. So couldn't tell you on that one what it actually would have been. But yeah, some pretty scary stuff.
Oh my gosh. This place looks insane.
I can't remember how many. I think it's over 400 artifacts or something like that. It's all papered. So literally, like every other haunted museum that you get, like exactly the same as Zach Bagan's. You get all artifacts that's got paper to it. But yeah, that
Yeah,
place.
I see just a few of these pictures. You see a bunch of stuff that you can only imagine. If the place isn't haunted itself, they've definitely brought some stuff in.
The place itself is, the history to that is, some. I'll let you find out the history of where it is and what was next to it and what happens, because then it's more of a surprise to you. You'd be like, because when I was told, I was like, all right, okay, like as in that's some crazy stuff happened. You know what I mean? It's not just standard stuff. You look into the history. And you'd be like, okay, then, you know what I mean? It's that sort of information. But I just won't tell it on here. I'd rather people go and find out, because then you'd be like, oh my God, that is very interesting and a bit, messed up.
So you've had a little bit of negative interaction there.
Oh yeah, it's definitely, it's like the ancient Ramin. It's definitely hit the minute you walk in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. The ancient Ramin is definitely a different place to go as well. Like literally, you get hit the minute you walk in, and you definitely get interactions. Like literally, stuff happens. So,
Goodness.
but yeah, I'll probably say them two places so far have really stuck out. But then in September, I'm going to be doing the Edinburgh Vault. So that's a next level as well. Like literally of stuff that happens. So we're prepared for that one.
Sounds like there's so many good places over there too.
I might get some holy water in the cross, take that with me.
God. When you're loading that into your bags going to a location, you know it's something serious.
Let's just say that I'm more gonna take stuff like that just in case, because you can never know where you go what will happen. Even the experts can be caught out. You know what I mean? I'm not an expert, but I've definitely had enough experience to know what's right and what's wrong, and what to do and what not to do. So I just recommend, it may sound silly to some people, take holy water, take your cross, do the Lord's Prayer before and after. But some people, they may find that silly, but guess what? You better be safe than sorry. Because if you don't, and something happens to you, who's at fault? Yourself. So, you know what you was walking into, so you know what was possibilities.
Ah! Damn it, Druber!
Oh my god! You made this jump. Well, you made
another
jump,
one.
not me.
Another one scaring us.
Well, I'd go and change my pants.
So, Daryl, you like you said, you've done this long enough. What do you think? This one's always the interesting question for people because it's like more of an outside view into the field. What do you think are the current either like issues or the trends that you may be seeing or challenges that are happening in this field? If you could pick something out from any of those, what do you think are the current either issues, trends, or challenges in this field?
Well, I know one thing that is I'm seeing a lot more that people are going into and saying it is that they're going and saying the demons and devil word a lot. It's always pushed in there, and you're thinking, no, you should not go into a place and go, oh, it's a devil or a demon associated with this place. And it could just be an old grimy man that died like 20 years ago and just keeps moaning about stuff, you know what I mean? Doesn't necessarily mean that it's a dark entity like, the devil or the demon, you know what I mean? This is what people need to understand, that if you go into a place, it has dark, like heavy energy, don't always associate it with one thing. It's like you got to debunk it with anything. Sound, vision, smells, everything. Because it feels heavy doesn't mean it's dark, demonic, and it could just be, like I said, an old man, that died moaning and still moaning in as a spirit. You know what I mean? He's just taking it over with him. You know what I mean? Because of his grumpiness. That's the trend that I've seen. Is that a lot of people just associate with one thing, and it's don't always associate with one thing. Debunk it in every single way you can.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think that's. Go ahead.
The amount of times I've seen videos, the word D comes in it. I'm like, why are you associating with that? How do you know? You know what I mean? Unless you're the world's best
unless you're a demonologist or something crazy.
Yeah, I lost my words then. Expert, then you can go in there if you're the world's best expert and know absolutely everything. But until then, don't go into somewhere and just go, it's demons. It's got devil. You know what I mean? Well, I've got the devil. You know what I mean? You got to debunk it in so many different ways. That's why I reckon you go to a place, you've got to say 8 hours there, spend 2 or 3 just walking around, You've got to spend most of the time trying to figure out the place if you're going to go in there like blind. Definitely don't jump into one thing, because it's going to annoy a lot of people that obviously know the situation, but then you're going to confuse the people that don't know. So people that are skeptics or don't know anything about the paranormal, but they start to watch it, and the first thing they see is someone going in there, and they go, "There's the demons here." They're probably going to more likely believe that. So I think in this industry, if it can be done, people need to be told, if you're going to do this properly, or if not, bugger off. You know what I mean? Because you're putting a bad name towards the paranormal, especially the experts that actually physically know stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was my
I guess it's
rant.
what's. I've heard it before. Yeah, I mean, there is issues with that. There's sometimes people try to do amateur investigations for their family or friends, and they think it's something like very demonic, that you were pushed down the stairs. However, it's probably because it was dark and you weren't using a good flashlight and you just tripped because you're on like an L-shaped form of stairs. You don't look at that possibility. Then you ask them, "Hey, were you pushed?" Well, I don't know. I just fell. So then they're like, "Okay, it was demonic. It's something demonic," and that does become an issue, because now you've got a person that's like, it's demonic. I'm scared of it. I'm not going to sleep in my bedroom upstairs and all this and that. So you gotta be able to differentiate, or be able to help, that client as well. I did see, now in our last episode, we did the watch party last night. This was interesting because a few of us we go off our religion and stuff. And you probably, if you haven't seen the episode yet, a little bit of a spoiler, not too much because I didn't explain it or nothing on there, but we was in a room using our Death Note, and it just reads the temperatures of the room and spits out words. It's kind of like an Ovilus in a way, but we felt heavy a lot that night, and then it was starting to talk about one of our team was talking about, is there a child here that wants to play, because we had the ball go off a few times and nothing much else from it. And I'm thinking, we're in an old jail. Like, I just don't think there's gonna be any children here. And then we had child pop up on it in the dark room, we called it. And I looked at my girlfriend, because we kind of think the same way, and we think like we would hate for like children to be in some type of spirit world, lost and stuff. So we're always thinking most, because it can happen, but we're always thinking, it's a demon disguising themselves as a child, so they can get in closer, because we're always thinking spiritual warfare. So it comes across it, and I'm like, I look at her, and I'm like, I don't like that. You know, we've been feeling bad all night, and now it just popped up child, and I'm looking at her thinking, you know what I'm thinking. So, but what's interesting is during the watch party last night, we had people commenting stuff before, and it's premiering live, so it's not like they've watched the video before or anything. And they would comment stuff like, oh, there's a woman walking around in this type of clothing and stuff. And then 5 minutes later, the guy's talking about people are seeing this woman in a previous encounter. And then we was walking through some more, and someone said, oh, there's children peeking around the corner at this place. And it would be an hour later where the whole child thing would come into play. So I'm just like, man, that's so crazy. It's so weird. And one person was like, I feel like there's a male there, and he's sick on his stomach all the time, and he just didn't feel good. You know, he was sick throughout his stay here at the jail. And I don't know if it's an inmate or if it was like a jailer family that lived there, because it was always families that lived there that worked the jail. But she said that, and then like 30 minutes later, we're in that room. We're like, oh, man, we're feeling sick to our stomach, you know. I think that they said all this during the walkthrough, and at the beginning of the investigation, I was showing explanations of, man, we were feeling sick to our stomach, we weren't feeling good, we was being aggravated towards each other, so it was like, that was something else, man. That blew me away. So to listen to what you said there kind of connects with it, that maybe what I was interpreting as something maybe whether it be just a dark, like a negative spirit, or something more on the demonic side, that it could have been all along just someone that stayed at this jail and just was very ill of something and would upset their stomach all the time, because that's what we'd feel. And of course the aggravation could come from a jail too, from just people going in and out and what they're charged for and all that. So
I
don't know.
Think what was there before as well. So if you were seeing kids and children, it could have been children that was there before it was built. It's
children live there. Children live there with their families and stuff.
Yeah. So you got to think, was it before when it was built? You know, around where you got to have the aspect of spirits wander. So it could be the land, it could be down the road. You know, it could be anything. So you've got to really debunk it or put a good theory to it to know what it could have been more to be with. So you seeing kids that could have been kids on the land before, you know, as a family. You know, it could be a demonic spirit that's acting as a child. You don't know. You know? Yeah. So and of course, what type of child, you never know either, because the other big thing of it was Indian burial grounds, possibly in the area. So many different theories you've got to go through. You've got to understand every aspect of the spiritual world. It's not just you see a ghost. Oh, it's a ghost. You know what I mean? You've got to slice and dice. You know. So it's more. You know, into it than people think. Is what I mean. You can't just go in going, oh, it's haunted, and then just leave. You got to go in, like I said before, diagnose it and cut it, slice, dice, looking more into it. It's like just a job without being paid, isn't it? It's like you research it a lot. It's a lot of work. If you're into this, you got to do the work, but you can't just go in there willy-nilly and just, you know. If you want to do this properly, you got to do this and divulge like you're in a surgery.
Hello, Amen? I don't know how to say.
Amen. I'm saying Amen. If
it's
pronounced wrong, I'm very sorry.
Yep. From Malaysia.
Again, you could type it and we still think it's Amen. That's the thing. When you type something or correct someone typing, you don't know how to pronounce it still.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have someone say it so you can pronounce it properly. But yeah, sorry if we pronounced that wrong.
Malaysia, man. Man, we're getting everywhere today. All over the world. Daryl, what motivates you to continue working in this field? Because I know you got a lot. You've got a lot of stuff like in your brain. Just you got stuff ready to plan out and get done. Like, what motivates you?
I think just the fact to get out there, the spirits do continue. They are still alive, but in the spirit form, and just not treat them like they're like a piece of equipment. Talk to them like human, because that's what they are, and just get history that no one else has got history from, because the spirits could have information that no one absolutely knows about. So everyone's going to learn every day about something new, because the history or the information isn't there where the spirits would know, and they can either tell it or not. So it's that.
Okay. Let's head back over to the newsroom. Is that a good one? Maybe not.
The newsroom.
Odd UFOs filmed during July 4th festivities near Phoenix. This is in the States. Look, it's on the news, man. Showed up on the news. Let's read just a little bit before we get in it. Puzzling piece of footage from 4th of July gathering in Arizona shows a pair of odd glowing orbs hovering in the night sky, seemingly unrelated to any fireworks display. The strange scene was reportedly captured by a photographer working for the Phoenix TV station 12 News. Witness had been dispatched to cover the holiday festivities at the event center West World in the nearby side of Scottsdale. At some point during the evening's activities, the photographer looked up at the sky and spotted two inexplicable objects, which they promptly set about filming and subsequently sent into this TV station. Ugh. Before we read what it is, let's watch the video.
World of Scottsdale last night for all the family fun, but when it was time for the fireworks, some people noticed something else lighting up the night sky.
You gotta check this out. That is video from one of our photographers that they sent in. We're still trying to figure out exactly what this is. So
Can
maybe
we open up Crystal's microphone to get her take on this too?
or maybe someone out there can help us too. Yeah, take a look. It could be a meteor, maybe some space junk, maybe something left behind from the fireworks. We just don't really know.
There were two lights at
not me,
first.
yeah.
First, they looked like they're bright orange, sort of hovering right there. One of them
changing
disappeared.
direction.
That's out of the
Yeah.
window. And I see
Does
this
that.
one. The second one starts kind of swirling down in the sky. And if you look closely, it does kind of look like a fireball at one point as it descends down and down, then eventually out of sight.
Yeah, so it's a little over my head, but maybe someone out there can give us the answer.
Crystal, any thoughts on that?
Huh.
Chinese lantern?
No, and Mike check. You know what? The only
got
fun
it.
answer is aliens.
Yeah,
Aliens. But all possible guesses welcome here at this point.
that's
Whoa.
right. We'll take any guesses, but I like the fun answer of aliens.
There you go.
I don't know. My theory is that because it swirls, isn't it? And you think about it, a Chinese lantern, because you can send them up,
Yeah.
and then they can sometimes satellite themselves, so they will, there is a lot of occasions that will happen. But then, depending on how high that is, but then I'm guessing if it was a Chinese lantern, it burns itself and it comes down, it will swirl because of the wind and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it couldn't be in a meteorite, because a meteorite only goes one way straight. You know what I mean?
I always, when I see stuff like this, man, I always think of the, balloons for like memorial stuff. They'll light them up,
Chinese lanterns, and
put them up, put them up in the sky, and. But
that's
I've
where I'm going.
I've never seen. You could be right though. It could be something to do with the wind, and it's pushing it down. It's making that trail as it pushes down.
I don't know, because this is the thing. Someone started filming it while it was in the sky. So who's to say that it didn't go up to come down?
Yeah, and it could have went so far up to where these clouds are that you don't see it till it showed up. You know, because well, here's when this video started. Look, they didn't show. There's a lot here. I don't know if that's a reflection. Nope. Okay, so when it starts, there's actually 2 of them. So when they started playing this is where my eye went. I started looking at this.
Yeah, same.
And it disappears. To never be seen again.
It disappears like it's gone out. Like
it disappears like itself. Like it went into the cloud. So you'd think if it didn't extinguish, you would see it somewhere or something. But I was watching this and I'm like, okay, what's happening? And then right around, I think, as soon as it starts moving right here, that's when I directed my attention down. And I was like, oh, it's here. So there was actually 2 of them when it started.
But if you watch the one that stays alight more, you say it stay in one position, then all of a sudden it goes like it's been pushed by the wind, like a Chinese lantern. So that's where my theory. It could be aliens, but my theory is going more Chinese lantern style, something like that.
Yeah.
Something that's been lit, gone to the air to come down.
I feel like with that, don't people like light usually more than one? Like obviously we saw 2 there.
Yeah.
But is it more tradition to do 1 or 2 instead of like 5 or 6 or what? I mean, I don't know the whole.
I don't know. I think it's just one of them. It's however you want to do it. Like you could do 1 or 2, or do 1,000, or just 10. I don't know. I think. I don't know.
It definitely doesn't feel like it's something with its own.
But then it is moving a little bit fast.
Propeller in a way, you know. Like it's not moving left, not moving right, or going up. It's more in a downward motion.
But now you look at it, the way it's going, it couldn't be in a Chinese lantern because it would have been blown. If it was the wind blowing it, it would have blown itself out through the pressure of the wind. So you would have seen it direct very shortly. But if you look at that, it looks like a meteorite, but it's been blown by the air. But we all know that meteorites do not, at the speed that they come down at, there's no way the wind can put it off and swirl like that. So,
and it is weird. It still kind of sits still at some places too. Look, what's that? Might be a plane going through clouds or something. There was a little light there and it disappeared again.
Yeah, it's a bit of a. If it's not a Chinese lantern, then it's something definitely. Don't know.
It was possibly debunked as an aerial stunt plane with flares on the back. The peculiar video begins with the 2 balls of light hovering in the sky before one of them vanishes from sight. The remaining orb, however, lingers in the air for quite some time, slowly descending with what appears to be a fiery tail until it finally disappears. And presenting the video to their TV audience this morning, 12 News Scott McDonald and Emily Pritchard indicate that they have no explanation for what the UFOs could have been, speculating that perhaps they were a piece of a meteor or perhaps space junk returning to Earth. This is July 4th. There is, of course, the possibility that the fiery objects could have been errant fireworks, but they seem to have appeared in the sky independent of any show being put on at the facility. When asked for her take on the inexplicable light, 12 News meteorologist Henderson conceded that she was stumped by the strange sight and mused that the only fun answer is aliens, which drew laughs.
That one, don't know. I thought it was going to be Chinese lantern, then I looked into it more, and then it looks, somewhere different now.
I'm not going to be able to find it, am I? I like to read comments on stuff like this. Was this a YouTube video? It was. Let's go over here. Sometimes I like to read people's comments and they say what it is.
I'm going to have to change directions of where I'm sitting.
People are saying they used to make stuff like this as a kid. So this guy is saying that he basically used to make the Chinese linen stuff, because if you read it, it's talking about a plastic bag and a candle, basically the way you would make one of those. It's a kite or a skydiver with sparkles on their feet. It was swinging side to side in a swooping motion while
really at night time, though, do you?
with sparklers on the feet. I don't think it would be that bright. Whatever it was very bright with the distance.
And I think they wouldn't do it at night time because of safety for like planes and that, because planes ain't going to really see something until last minute, are they?
Yeah. That looked more like a drone. I observed a white light that was stationary until a commercial aircraft flew underneath it. As the plane passed, the object moved in the same direction as the plane until it passed, and then stopped and went straight up until the light was no longer visible. That's a skydiver with burning pyrotechnics strapped onto their ankles. No doubt done as a prank. There's a few people saying it's that.
Yeah, but if it was a skydiver doing it as a prank, it's a bit of a silly one, because you got a high chance of getting hit by a fine object. Because that's why they tend to not do it. You never see them at night time. Usually it's always daytime, isn't it? So they're visible. Imagine that. Do it at night time, plane flies by and accidentally hits you.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a pretty sight, is it? What happened to George? Well, he thought he'd be a skydiver for the night and accidentally got hit by a jumbo jet. Unfortunately, he died doing some killing up.
And what's interesting too is I think there was less UFO sightings till now. Now that we have these drones, a lot of people are, saying that there's more. But I feel like some of this can be accounted to drones, because I've seen stuff like in our area too. That is more drone related, just people flying at night and stuff like that. So a lot of people are saying drones as well.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it would be a skydiver. 100% not. So, yeah, it's either a lantern, drone. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's one of them too. If not,
none of that, then debris from something like a space shuttle, And if not that, then you can put it down to aliens. So aliens is definitely the last logic to really use.
Ghostly encounters cause students to abandon dormitory in India. A dormitory in India may soon be vacant following a series of ghostly encounters that sparked such a panic that all of the residents of the building have decided to leave the spooky site. Local media reported the weird case began late last month at the Kasturba Gandhi Girls Hostel, when 3 separate students reported seeing an eerie apparition dressed entirely in white. The sight of the unsettling interloper was apparently so troubling that each of the witnesses became sick from the experience and subsequently fled the dormitory. However, this was only the beginning of the situation that has left school administrators scrambling.
Now, this has just popped into my head, but who's to say that's not a student putting a prank on a night where they know everyone's may have had some alcohol?
True.
It's a good theory if you think about it. Students will do student things in any country, so I reckon that's what my theory is that one of the students thought would be doing a prank on some other students, knowing that they drunk a lot and knew that they would more freak out by seeing them. And if not that, then yeah, maybe it is a spirit.
It says the day after the sighting caused a commotion in the dormitory, another 2 students both reported seeing the unnerving figure and falling ill after the experience. All of them are getting some kind of illness with it. So administrators got involved, officials got involved. They attempted for supernatural damage control. informed that
got
all
done,
50...
Did you say?
Huh?
Did you say they got done?
Like, ill?
I'm sure you said weird. I spaced
they-
out then, but it sounded like you said they got done for...
Oh, it says they attempted at supernatural damage control.
Oh, great. Let me say it.
And informed that all 50 of the remaining residents had decided that they would also vacate the dormitory due to the ghostly presence.
So was it only seen once? That's a question.
No, it was seen the first time by a few people, and then it says the day after it caused a commotion in the dormitory. Another 2 people both reported seeing it. Well, it might have been the same experience. I don't know. Depends on where it was seen at.
Yeah, because it's how it's worded, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can read an article and it's been stretched out and twisted more than it actually is. So, I don't know, it's weird because I'm just getting the vibe of someone did a prank on some students that don't drink and drunk that night too much and thought, I'm just going to scare the hell out of these because they're going to be too drunk to realise what I am. You know what I mean?
It says administrators will likely have a difficult time filling up the rooms, as this is actually the second ghost scare to sweep through the building following a similar incident that occurred at the site in 2018 and wound up making headlines throughout the country. This happened more than once. But they don't say nothing about it. Could have been,
Yeah, but then you've got to think what's been covered up and what hasn't been covered up. Because then they like to... This is what you need to divulge in stories. When you look at a story, you've got to divulge into it and not just go by what is being typed up. There's more to the story than you can always usually see.
Okay, this one says 4 years back, they reported the same, or no, they reported something paranormal there. Then this happens. The very next day, the same thing happens again with 2 other people. So they said it happened again.
Something doesn't
Makes you wonder if it's around the same day or something.
Yeah, I'm just getting something doesn't sit right.
Or if it's something, if it is happening, if it's something residual and it's happening around like the same day each year. Who knows? Nobody is saying anything about... Oh,
I don't know, it's weird because I don't know if anyone's picking up this, but I'm just getting... It doesn't sit right. Something ain't quite right with that story.
The hostile remote area hits the headlines. Started to behave frantically and warned other inmates to leave the hostel to save their lives. Inmates. After witnessing the shocking behavior, the inmates started to vacate their room, though after the initiative of the administration, it was discovered that using the lack of security, some narcotics gang plotted to create a panicking situation to force the inmates to leave the hostel. What in the world?
See?
Yeah, there's something
don't sit right.
Different little stories here.
Yeah, something ain't right. I know, it's weird. I can just sense and feel that something ain't right. And I'm just like, Drew, I just got the image of Drew just sitting there going, something ain't right.
Iowa motorist films eyeball UFO.
What? Say that again?
Iowa motorist, films eyeball UFO. That's how he describes it, I guess. A motorist in Iowa was left mystified when he glanced out his window and spotted an odd glowing orb hovering in the night sky. The strange sighting reportedly occurred this past Tuesday evening as witness Jacob Farrell was driving through the city of Des Moines. It was like an eyeball-looking UFO, he recalled to TV station KCCI. I don't know what to make of it. Fortunately, Farrell had the wherewithal to capture some of the sighting with his cell phone. It was kind of just hovering there in the sky, just standing still, he marveled. It was just too weird. Let's see what we got here.
All right, take a look at this. A driver in Des Moines claims that he saw a UFO. What's that? The National UFO Reporting Center is looking into it. No, what is that, though? You can see it in this video.
Damn, it caught
what
speed.
Jacob Farrell calls a UFO. He says it was last night on Hickman Road near Merle Hay Road looking north.
That's an orb.
It's like an eyeball-looking UFO. I don't know what to make of it. It was kind of just hovering there in the sky, just kind of standing still. I was looking up like the Elon Musk equipment that he's got up there. But I don't know, because this was one object by itself, and it was just kind of, it was just too weird.
We asked the FAA. They have a legitimate task force for UFOs used by Congress last month, but it only takes reports from pilots. So we asked air traffic control if they got any reports and haven't heard back. So we asked air.
If the facility can corroborate a pilot's report with supporting information such as radar data, the FAA will share the information with the unidentified. Oh shit, I forgot what they call it. Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force. I think it's what they created now.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like, it looks like an orb.
Air traffic control if they got any reports and haven't heard back. So that's cool. The FAA referred us to the National UFO Reporting Center. Farrell filed a report with them that will be investigated in the flight radar around Des Moines last night. Only driver in Des Moines
So he's
claims that he saw a UFO. What's that? The driver in Des Moines.
Looks like he's at some stoplights or something here. I thought it was something driving down the road filming through the sunroof at the moon. So he's at some stoplights or something here. He looks like he's driving. He's probably filming through his window in the car and looks up in the sky. That's probably a street light, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
One claims that he saw you.
Yeah, it's a street light.
Yeah, well, the reflection off the his windscreen.
Yep, because you can see it. Little.
Claims that he saw a UFO. What's that? The National UFO Reporting Center is looking into it. No, what is that, though? You can see it in this video.
I could see where Mama D's like, oh, it's the moon.
Because I looked at it and I thought, hang on, that looks
Jacob
like an
Farrell
orb.
calls a UFO. He says it was last night on Hickman Road near Merle Hay Road looking north.
It is weird, though.
It's like an eyeball look.
This video is looking.
That's pretty good capture because it's not like the cars. I don't think the car's moving.
In Des Moines claims that he saw a UFO.
Still.
What's that?
He's zooming in, and this thing is moving because it's where the light, like, you know where the street light is, and you look up and you still kind of see the light from the street light. It's there, and then you see it moving into the darkness. And what's interesting, too, because I know you probably picked it up, too, is when we're watching it, there's, well, it could be his window. Let me see here real quick.
Dirty window screen.
Yeah, the window's dirty.
That's the thing. It's
still moving through, and it's passing the stuff on his window. As if something is like, you know, your window's here, and it's flying, and you see all the little dirt particles and stuff.
Orb. That's what I'm getting. Orb. It's like an actual grade A orb core.
And you can tell
the grays of the light from the street lamp.
Yeah, and you can
That's
tell.
an orb.
Well, it's lit up too with something.
Because you look at it, if you look, so you look at an orb. If you've got another picture of an orb that's really strong, like a grade A one, that's an orb. That all day long. It looks like it's got a smiley face though.
And it's huge, man, because he zoomed in on it.
That's the thing, because orbs, you get different thicknesses of how it looks, different colours, different sizes, different developments. You can get the orbs that are like shape shift, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You can just tell it's moving because he's not moving in the seat. He's filming like this.
Yeah, that's an orb.
And as 100%. He's turning, look, it's passing this. It's at an angle though.
And you look at it closely.
And it's still moving.
That, all day long, is an orb. That's just a grade A orb core.
And like
literally.
And it changes colors. I don't know if it's because it's going in the dark.
I'm saying that's an orb all day long.
That's weird. I've never seen anything like that, honestly. Although he suspected that the object might have been something related to SpaceX, Farrell ultimately conceded that he had no idea what it was. He wanted answers from the FFA. However, there's none because they put out that statement there.
And I ain't gonna say it's a normal.
However, he submitted his sighting to the National UFO Reporting Center, and Director Pierre Davenport told the TV station that I have no reason to believe it is an alien spacecraft. So goes back to what you might have been saying. It's a freaking orb of some sort.
I reckon it's grade A.
It's
the,
like
the
what?
Best grade A orb you can catch up. It's got to be in it. I don't know what Drew's theory would be on that, but in my eyes, that's so. Where you see so many orbs and know what an orb looks like, you know what an orb looks like. You know the difference between dust and orb.
Yeah.
How it develops and how it travels and stuff like that, and it's that in my eyes all day long.
I love reading the bottom of these because it usually tries to say what it could be or what people have said. As for what the object might have been, setting aside the extraterrestrial hypothesis, oh gosh, I ever say that word. Possibilities include a misidentified celestial object or perhaps an aircraft leaving or departing the city. I don't know about that last one. No. That down-to-earth take was echoed by KCC weatherman Chris, who amusingly assessed the footage and concluded that the UFO was a dirty windshield and maybe a plane. That said, as of now, the object seen in the sky over Des Moines remains a mystery. Catch you later, guys. I need to feed the family. All right, Mama D, you take care.
See you later. Bye-bye.
So, a misidentified celestial object, aircraft leaving or departing the city, something caused by a dirty windshield, and a plane leaving the city. Huh.
I think with someone saying the airplane, I think they've seen the Independence Day too many times. That ball thing in the second one. Because you know, in the Independence movie, they've got that ball.
Yeah.
There's the bigger one, and then there's the smaller one. But I'm going with my theory, and obviously everyone else has their theory. I'm definitely sure it is.
The windshield is dirty, yes.
Yeah, but that's
is it dirty enough to create distortion? They're saying it's a plane flying out. You're telling me I'm able to see the street lights and obviously the stoplights where he stopped at, whether he's parked in a parking lot looking at him or if he's actually stopped at one waiting for it to turn green and he just saw it and said, oh, I'm going to film this. You're telling me it distorted it that much to where I could see that but not what's up in the sky. Oh, I might have lost Daryl for a minute. May have lost him for a second. But, you know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I don't know. Oh, there he is. Now he's back. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I can look out my door and, because I live right near, like, you know, close enough to an airport where I can see planes coming and going or whatever. So I can see those all day long, you know, and say, hey, that's a plane right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think the windshield's that dirty to distort it enough through a phone.
What about them weather balloons? They're balls, aren't they, sometimes?
That one shot up pretty quick, though, at the end.
It did.
That's the other thing.
If it's not an orb, it could be a weather balloon. And then, yeah.
True. I don't know. That's a weird one. I've never seen it like that before, though. Well, Daryl, we got a few more questions for you. I know the internet's getting a little spotty over there, it sounds like. But again, y'all, check out www.firstlineparanormal.com for any of the links associated with the team there. Check out our group, Cryptic Trading Post. That's where you can post and talk about all these stories and comment what you think. And, just it's a good way of getting in contact with the team through an open discussion versus our page. So definitely check it out. And if you want to be on the show or have anything you want to be shown on the show or anything funny clip-wise, you can send to us at our email. So I think your internet's getting a little spotty over there, ain't it?
No, my internet's strong. I just checked on it.
Oh, wow. That's weird.
It's like 87 megabytes.
Wow.
But that's strong.
Well, hopefully we won't have too much more. We got like 3 more to go. So yeah, could be the weather. What has been your most intense, scariest moment during investigation?
No, I just don't. Well, apart from having a shadow figure like
hello,
in front of
Annette.
me. Yeah, there's a place called Reculver Towers. It's well known for shadow figures, and literally I've seen the shadow figures. But where there's the towers, so if you go from the inside out of the towers, where there's a spot I was, well known to have shadow figures like come at you. And I did it, and literally this shadow figure just literally ran at me. And it pushed, like, it obviously forced me to the floor because I was like, what the hell is this? Like, you know what I mean? I backed off a little bit and like fell onto the floor.
Yeah.
But that was literally probably the most eerie feeling, like, because it's just like you don't expect something to come at you, you know what I mean? So, but then, yeah, that would be my investigation side. But I suppose for just an instant in the paranormal world would be obviously the time when I said I was around my friends. That was scary. In a way, looking back, should have filmed it. But these things happen. These things happen with that, you know. Sometimes you don't film, sometimes you do. So, yeah.
Shoot. Luckily, I haven't had anything too crazy to where I can say, oh, it's the scariest thing, or
Well,
I don't know.
Trust me, you will do.
Yeah, everybody's been, especially with Robert and them, they're like, wait till you go to St. Albans. Something's going to happen. I'm like, all right. But I can at least say that I have 100% something's happened where I'm not like guessing, because I think I saw a shadow figure at Trans-Allegheny, and I'm like, maybe it was just my eyes or something. This last time at the jail, I had that flashing like ball of light. It was an orb coming from like the ceiling towards me, and then it just disappears about halfway to me, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, that was not a trick of my eyes, because it was all dark in there. The only light that I had was the camera, the LCD screen, when I had it turned around. So I definitely know what I saw in that moment. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Annette asked, what do you most fear coming across? I don't know if that's how that's worded. Is that like a, what do you most fear that could happen? Or what do you think? What do you think, Daryl?
I think just as in coming across as in spiritual. I don't know. How could I think just once again, just depending on the spirit, what type it is, and it's that word again, the D word, the devil, demonic, and whatever happens, and how you proceed with that. You know what I mean? So.
Because those obviously can affect you more than anything else, you know?
Yeah. I think one thing I wouldn't want is to be possessed. literally being taken over. Because that would just be it. We've seen so-called films and video clips of that's all about, and it don't look nice. And I'm just like, if a spirit wants to, take me over, wants to do the cleaning up while it's in my body, you know what I mean? Because I ain't having no spirit enter me and not feel that it can be lazy, you know what I mean? It's got to clean up. But yeah, no, I wouldn't want that experience at all.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. While you're in my body, you can do the chores, mate. You know what I mean? You can do the dishes. you can go out and do the jobs that I couldn't do.
Just make sure you get it done in 5 minutes. I don't want my whole day wasted. You know, the time skip.
Yeah. And you'd be like, I don't want my wife or girlfriend to moan at me. You know, so just please help me out.
Are you ever worried about taking anything home with you?
No. Because I don't know whether I've taken home anything yet. Because it hasn't really had that feeling of something dark. So, I haven't had that. Like, yeah,
I think nowadays, too, some people are like, some of them don't care. They're just like, that's fine, as long as they're cool, you know, come on over. And then some people are like, nah, it's my home. I want it to be me and the family.
Yeah, like, I do have activity here. But it's not activity that's enough to worry me.
Yeah.
So, just let them get on with it. They want to make noises in the night, let them. So,
if you could investigate anywhere, and let's just go ahead and say that you haven't investigated yet, where would it be? What's that one place you want to go to?
It's a hard one because there's so many places. Because I don't want to go to America, no offense, because there's so many places I want to do there. But
I know there's so many places here, and then when I look at y'all's locations, I'm like, oh my god, there's so many places over there. And a lot of people over here are fascinated with your old castles that are over there.
Yeah.
So
I think one place I would 100% want to do, but it's getting people to do it, is the Japan Suicide Forest. Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Japan, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just getting people willing to go in there. And it's, if you want to do it. But prepare yourself. Protect yourself. Don't do anything stupid like people have done in the past doing it. You know? If you want to go in there like you're not ghost hunting. If you catch your stuff, you catch your stuff. But don't force it because you're more likely to get something happen to you.
Yeah, so, I feel like that'd be something for people that are more, they've had some years under their belt, I'd say.
Yeah. But I would recommend, if you're going to go there, don't do it as a ghost hunt. Go in there as you're visiting the place.
Yeah, just see what kind of vibes you get. Because I'm sure just walking in that place or pulling up to it in the parking lot, you're like, wow.
It's definitely going to be one of them places that you could walk into and have no trouble getting any activity. Yeah. Noises will happen. You get, I reckon, spoken words come through, and it'd just be, you wouldn't have to do anything, I don't think. You just walk in there naturally and it would just happen. So that's why I say go in there, walk in with, just general, like you'd walk in a normal forest, general walk. Let's do it that way.
Yeah, it would be one hell of a road trip. Yeah, that's what I feel like sometimes, because the places we mark on our map are like, God almighty. Annette asked, do you do investigations in your own house?
No.
Yeah,
no,
I think from your answer before, nothing.
It's spirits here. I just let them be, because it's the fact that I'm in a HMO, it's multiple occupancies, and if I do something in this room, it could affect the whole house. And shit, stuff could happen.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And then obviously, because you can hear everyone speaking, And if someone overhears you say wrong word, they're going to put you to it, and then they're going to, you know. So, yeah, just leave it to it.
Get crazy there.
If the spirit's spirit, then let them spirit. You know, let them move stuff or make noises. I just let them do it. Because I ain't going to get myself kicked out.
Can't have that now.
How come you're homeless, Daryl? Well, I decided to experiment in where I lived with the spirits and got kicked out. I didn't mean to. I was interested.
Oh.
So yeah, I just leave them, you know, twiddling their thumbs and doing whatever they want to do.
Well, buddy, I think I've learned quite a bit about you today. You know, I just don't hear much about you with all the stuff going on with us, and then obviously, you know, Lost Souls was kind of like a new thing. Hell, Paranormal Post-Mortem is still new to me as far as like its origins and the group itself. So it's nice to know about your, you know, now with Lost Souls, how long have you been going with that before I say anything else?
Since last year, probably like August time, around that time.
That's about when we started, yeah.
Yeah.
About May or so. I think May is when we started, but so needless to say, it's still sort of still like a project for you in a way, because that's kind of how I look at our stuff too.
It's more of a project, as in for the new, obviously for Lost Souls.
Yeah.
But for myself, obviously not really. It's just thinking of ideas of what to do with Lost Souls, and then obviously now with DNTV, so that'll be a good interaction with the both of them, and good things to come.
Well, I definitely subscribed with our channel, so I'm definitely gonna look into your videos and actually start diving into them, seeing what you're getting, because it sounds very interesting from what you've said today. This question: what do you have planned in the future, and do you have, you know, is there anything big coming up for your group or any events coming up? And well, we'll do the last part after those two questions. But what do you have planned in the future, and do you have any events coming up for yourself that we need to be aware of and looking for?
Well, I've got some events coming up, obviously, for Lost Souls. Obviously, one being a pub in Birmingham in the UK. And then I will be doing Galleries of Justice in Nottingham at the end of this month. And then in between them and obviously Edinburgh Vaults in September, I'll be adding places, either with people or maybe on my own. But yes, and a lot of stuff we'll be doing with DNTV. So yeah.
Cool.
So all excitement to come.
We need to get you a cameraman.
Cameraman or camera?
Yeah, you need a cameraman. You need someone filming you constantly, and then you have your own little handheld.
Did you know what?
When you gotta crawl into these small places where a cameraman can't go.
Yeah, but I'd be happy to do that, especially filming, because I'll be entertainment all day long.
Heck yeah.
Like,
because I mean, the Lost Souls thing, it sounds like it's more just like you want to. It's you going to these places out of your own curiosity and seeing what it's all about. And I just feel like with that type of setup, we want to be able to see you like in your element and doing your thing. So, you know, just be kind of interesting.
If a cameraman could film a cameraman, how would we have it? I'd be like, hang on a minute, you're doing this for this show? And he'd be like, yep, I'm the cameraman. But then there's a cameraman filming us. And I'm like, yeah, because this cameraman ain't a normal cameraman. What do you mean? I go exploring. I go crawling. And I get stuck because I'm a large man. And I don't care. Because all you're seeing is my legs wiggle. Woo!
That's just, you know, me throwing out stuff without actually seeing any of your stuff yet. So, you know, just looking at that point of view. But
I'd love
yeah,
that.
I can't wait to see.
Happened, that'd be epic.
I can't wait to see what you got on there, and what's to come. So it sounds like you've got a lot of events coming up, and that's good.
Yeah.
I like to hear people and teams that are, focused on let's go to the places, let's get more stuff done, versus let's wait for a big event and not really do too much till then.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, your show's done. Make me stuff.
That's actually
So, Daryl,
quite a while. 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Heck yeah. So, Daryl, list some links for us, man. Give us everything you've got out right now, or what we need to be looking at to watch your stuff.
I've got obviously YouTube. I've got Facebook. Got Instagram. I do actually have Twitter, which I actually forgot about. But I do have Twitter. It would obviously be Lost Souls, and then it will have Roman numerals of 2021 with an old logo. It's still me because I've only just found it, and then I'm gonna obviously go with that one. I'm on TikTok as well. So
how'd you do the Lost Souls one again?
If it's right, it's Lost Souls, and then in Roman numerals it's 2021.
Let's see. Oh,
Should have a skull, a purple background skull. Might have an X in between the Lost and the Souls. And obviously, the Roman numerals 2021.
Found it.
Me.
Yes. All right. So so is it Lost Souls? Is it like that one per se on every one of them, or is it most of it just like
No,
Lost
it's
Souls?
just on Twitter. That
Okay.
one is going to be the way it is because I struggled in that one. It wouldn't let me do a lot of things, so I just bonkers that. But
Yeah,
on
that's kinda how we did
Instagram,
with
it's
ours.
Lost Souls UK, but with X in between. And on YouTube, it's Lost Souls with space with capital letters. I'm actually quite confusing a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of different
Yeah,
a
we
lot
have
of
to
different
sort it out,
names for
actually.
sure.
That's a good idea.
Lost Souls X on you think you said UK, that's what it was.
Yeah, on the Instagram one. So all one word, like near enough.
Ah. I had to find it at some point. Instagram's always iffy too, so do you have a Facebook page we can go to?
I do. It should be just normal Lost Souls. Didn't tell you if it's capitals or what on that one, and I've just restarted that, so I should know. But
I wonder if we can get all the links through there. That's a good idea. That's kind of what we did with our team page. Is at first we actually had like an image, and then we listed that said like links or whatever the case you want to do with it, and then we listed all of our links associated on that.
yeah,
and
I'm gonna
pinned
try and
it.
do that, but
We did
I'm
that for a long time.
Savvy, but some stuff I'm just like with the links. I'm like it baffles me, so
Yeah.
I may need some help on that one. So
That's kind of what we did for the longest time, because I'm like, God, we've got so many links and it's hard to remember them all at one time. So I'm just like, freaking list it and leave it. I'm like, I'm done with it.
I know Insta, you can only put YouTube and Facebook on it. You can't put any other platform on it.
Yep. That's kind of why we got our own website and just said the heck with it, because now we can just tell them to go there and they get all of the links there. So
yeah,
it's crazy, everyone that keeps up with this stuff, because some people are more, they're like, I don't use Facebook, I use only Instagram. So then it's like, oh crap, now you gotta pertain to those people too. Like it's not just one place. So
yeah.
And heck, I don't even hardly ever use Twitter. It's very rare when I use it. So
yeah, I set it up, then I just left it alone because it was just like I find Twitter complicated. I just left it as it is.
yeah.
But it is there if anyone wants to add it. I do go there now and again, not all the time, just to check on see who's following and who's unfollowed and stuff like that. So
All right. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'll definitely be checking out your videos. And hopefully we'll see some great things. And you'll continue forward with the plans you've got in place. And I would definitely say get us that paranormal shop going. I'll be looking at that. Yeah. It might cost me more money though, because it'll be overseas. So it'll have to be stuff that I'm like, oh, that's unique. I really want that, and I'll get it.
Yeah. I think
I'll be like, this shirt's from the UK, y'all.
Yeah, with the merch, definitely could happen. Just gotta get the most unique thing out there. So literally, just like wow. You know
that's a lot. That's definitely a lot to deal with too. I like you've heard me. I'm like I ain't messing with it. So I definitely
it will get there. It will be there, and it will be as the paranormal family. So
I definitely say good luck to you, and I hope it works out for the best of you, of course. But then it gives us cool stuff to wear. We need more paranormal shirts and stuff out there. I don't think there's enough of it. And if they're the stores that are out there, they're underground, like hidden. You don't know too much about them. So, but all right, awesome show. Hopefully we'll have more American viewers watching this later on throughout the day, I think. So, if you want to come back anytime, let me know. I think you're one of the few like awesome people we can get on here and like watch content together and definitely have like different views on it. So I definitely want to welcome you back for if you just want to be like a co-host for some of the shows.
Yeah, definitely. If you want me back, I'm happy to come back.
Heck yeah. Alrighty, man. Well, you have a wonderful rest of the evening, and I am going to go eat lunch. So, but much love to you, man. DNTV.
Andrew.
And I'm not sure if you're part of Parafam or not, but we recommend you for Parafam.
Well, because I'm part of DNTV, so
boom, it's already there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, man. You take care, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. It's been
Goodbye.
nice.
Goodbye.
See you later, boys and gals.